Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on double falsehood, and we get to hear from Leonora today in Act 2, Scene 3. Now remember, she is loved by Julio, who asked Enriquez to convey his love to her while Julio has gone off to court to get money to buy a horse on behalf of Enriquez, who didn't want to go home because he doesn't want to be there, because he was in love with Violante, but then as soon as he raped her, he decided he doesn't love her anymore, and he has instead fallen in love with Leonora. And Don Bernard, who is Leonora's father, was originally kind of lukewarm or indifferent anyway about Leonora marrying Julio. So he's kind of excited now that Enriquez wants to marry Leonora because he thinks that Enriquez is a better match because he is of noble birth. He is the son of a duke. So Enriquez is still feeling mildly guilty about having raped Violante, and also for pursuing Leonora, because that's a betrayal of his friend Julio. But he's decided that he's too much in love with Leonora to just let that go. And so that was his moment at the top of this Act 2, Scene 3. But then Don Bernard and Leonora come in, and the three of them start to have a bit of a conversation about, yes, can she marry him? Can she marry him? And she's like, no, I'm promised to Julio. I don't want to have to not obey you, Dad, but remember you said I could marry Julio, who I'm now in love with, who she actually wasn't really in love with until she found out that he was leaving. Then she got jealous and she's like, oh, wait for me. But her dad is like, no, Enriquez is the better match. This is what makes sense here. And Enriquez is like, and Julio doesn't really love you all that much anyway, not as much as I do. So it makes much more sense for you to be with me. And Leonora says, oh, the opposing wind shouldering the tide makes here a fearful billow. I needs must perish in it. Oh, my lord, is it then possible you can forget what's due to your great name and princely birth, to friendship's holy law, to faith reposed, to truth, to honor, and poor injured Julio? Oh, think, my lord, how much this Julio loves you. Recall his services, his well-tried faith. Think, too, this very hour, where'er he be, your favor is the envy of the court and secret triumph of his grateful heart. Poor Julio, how securely thou dependst upon the faith and honor of thy master, mistaken youth! This very hour he robs thee of all thy heart holds dear. 'Tis so, Enriquez repays the merits of unhappy Julio. So she's trying to appeal to Enriquez's guilt a little bit here by saying, remember what a great friend Julio is to you and has been to you, and the fact that you are his friend is like the crowning joy of his life, that he knows you, and here you are stabbing him in the back. And she talks to Julio even though he's not even actually there, saying Julio, you're an idiot to trust this guy. And it does actually sort of get through to Enriquez. He's like, oh, she's calling me out a little bit. But then Don Bernard is like, she's crazy, my daughter's gone mad, she's mad, which we should all know better than to call a woman crazy at this point in our lives. But these were different times, and they didn't know better. But they hopefully will after Leonora has a response to that we will hear in monologue tomorrow. I will see you then. Mwah.